A data entry error is an error resulting from incorrect data being entered into a computer system. A data retrieval error is an error resulting from the output of a computer system being misunderstood. Why is this important? The National Crime Information Center is a database of criminal justice information available to law enforcement agencies across the nation. A lot of the information entered into the NCIC comes from other law enforcement and intelligence agencies. It is not practical for the FBI to check all of this information. Sometimes the veracity of the information is questionable. Agents should be able to use their discretion to determine which information may be useful in criminal investigations. If all data had to be double-checked before being entered into the NCIC, there would be far fewer records in the NCIC, reducing its usefulness. The advantage of allowing software users to identify and report bugs is that there are usually many more users outside the company than software testers inside the company. When many more people are exercising the software, there's a greater chance that errors can be uncovered. One disadvantage of allowing software users to identify bugs is that if a lot of bugs are discovered, the reputation of a company can suffer. Another disadvantage: most users probably do not think it is their job to find and report errors, unless we're talking about people who have agreed to test a beta release of the software. Also, most software users are not trying to break the software, so even if a lot of people are using a program, that is no guarantee that every bug will be found in a reasonable amount of time. Computer simulations are playing an increasingly important role in science and engineering because in many cases physical experiments are impossible to perform. 5 uses of computer simulation are weather prediction, searching for oil, designing consumer products such as disposable diapers, simulating galactic evolution, predicting global population growth. A model is a representation of an actual system. There are different kinds of models, including physical models and mathematical models. A computer simulation is a program that implements a mathematical model. Verification is the process of determining if the computer program correctly implements the model. Validation is the process of determining if the model is an accurate representation of the real system. You can validate a computer simulation by comparing its predicted result with the actual result found by doing the experiment in the real world. For example, you can use a computer simulation to predict what happens when you drive a Nissan Leaf into a wall at 35 miles per hour. Then you can drive a real Nissan Leaf into a wall at 35 miles per hour and compare the predicted results with the actual results. Another way to validate a computer simulation is to take its prediction to an expert and ask the expert if the prediction is accurate. Some people argue that shrink-wrap software should be exempt from the Uniform Commercial Code because there's no such thing as error-free software. A program is much more complicated than a pocket knife. If software manufacturers can be held liable for all sorts of damages caused by a bug in a program, less software will be available, and the software that is available will be more expensive. The significance of the court's ruling in Step-Saver Data Systems versus Wise Technology and the Software Link was that the purchase order, the invoice, and the oral statements constituted the contract, not the software license agreement. The court's ruling in Pro-CD Incorporated versus Zeidenberg found that shrink-wrap licenses are enforceable unless their terms are unconscionable, even though the licenses are not visible before the box is opened. Mortensen versus Timberline Software established that the licensing agreement limited the consequential damages that Mortensen could recover from Timberline, even though Timberline knew there was a bug in the program and had not told Mortensen. Courts have been reluctant to view software as a product subject to the theory of strict liability, because a software-controlled device may cause harm through no fault of the programmer.